if you're watching this video, that means I'm alive and the experiment was a success. The experiment being that I just downloaded some video editing software and edited a video and made one again, which was something that would sometimes be actually really tough for me. But I guess I've done it, so that's great. Why have I done that? I have been sat in front of a keyboard a lot over the last few months doing work for my Patreon and work for some other folks and a few projects that will hopefully be sort of talked about or visible next year. And I've got writer's block. I am very tired of sitting in front of a keyboard, and I'm really looking forward to winding down for the holiday break. And I thought a good thing to do with this behind the scenes Patreon update would be to just not write it, just film it and see how that goes unscripted. And I also wanted to try at the same time to put something out there that said thank you to folks for reading a piece of work that I recently just put up, and that communicated a few thoughts about that before I said what I was doing next. If you haven't yet seen it, on my Patreon, whether you follow me or not, you can read this because it's free for everyone to read. I posted a 4-part retrospective and travelogue, and I can't remember what other words I used to describe it now, but it's this multi-stage thing that describes my some of my journey and experiences over the last couple of years. And it talks about immigration and going through an immigration appeal. It talks about mental health. It talks about personal discoveries about myself and a few things about my family past, and some things about how sort of the past and present end up always entwined. All of these things that I wrote about were very entwined, and I didn't know how to separate them, so I kind of didn't. And so that's how we end up with 23,000 words in 4 parts. I had no idea how this was going to go. I've never done anything like this before. It's like about 1/3 or 40% of the book, according to my agent who knows this stuff better than I do. It's probably, I don't know if it's going to end up in a book. The plan is for it to not be in the book that I'm working on at the moment. I didn't really know what to do with it, but I knew that I had to do something, that I had to get some things out of my system, and I guess this is what Patreon is all about, and what Patreon is about for me is putting these things out there and writing stuff that I don't know where else it would go. I don't know where else this would be published. I had no idea how this was going to go. I can't remember when I started writing this piece of work. Now that it's done and it's out there and it's been up for about a week, I can't remember when I started. I want to say it was in the summer, maybe in some form, and it exploded over like a couple of different Google Docs, and I had drafts of it on a notepad, and I would be in a place at a time and some part of it would just come to me and I'd have to write it down. And then I had this worse job, which was then collecting all these, like, it was like doing an autopsy of it, like an exploded corpse, and trying to put all this together and see how it fits. And it was really tough, and I didn't know if it would be any good, and I didn't know if anybody would care about this. I've had some really good responses from people, so thanks for that. I've had people reach out via Discord. I've had people sort of privately reach out to me. I've had people email me about this. I've had a lot of people say, hey, I waited for all 4 parts of this before I actually read it, which was kind of amazing that people were standing by waiting for this thing to come out. Because sometimes this was a very weird, very kind of a lonely journey to go on. And it does mean an awful lot, actually, that people read that and supported that, as you can probably tell. So thanks. I have coming up, because this is supposed to be behind the scenes update, I've got some cool deleted scenes from that, which are going to go up in the... So if you don't know anything about my Patreon, hi, welcome to the first video that I've made for it. It has a bunch of different tiers, and some of the tiers include, like, you can just read my words and hang out in Discord where I talk bollocks, or you can pay a bit more money and you get sort of secret words, which tend to be extra bits of travelogue and behind the scenes stuff. And for some of those, I'm going to write, I guess, some things about the Twin Cities and some things that I cut out of this big 4-part retrospective that I did. Because that might be interesting, and if the people like the other bits, then thanks for liking those. I will be doing my usual end of month summary. I reached a Patreon tier recently that meant that I have to make a piece of interactive fiction, which I've been sort of working on for a while. And this is, I have to set myself goals and deadlines, otherwise I don't get stuff done. And this is my way of being like, okay, I'm going to finally finish this kind of Twine game, this interactive game thing that I've been on and off scribbling stuff for ages, and that I hope to put up at like the end of January, because here's the thing, that's going to involve some learning how to do that properly, which I'm probably going to be bad at, because I'm bad at all technical, whether it's video editing or programming or, you know, linking a thing together or whatever. So whatever, we'll see how that goes. But also I have to go to some places and do some research about the stuff that I want to make this game about. And they're all in Vancouver. One of them will be the Vancouver Police Museum, which apparently has a bunch of different types of club or weapons truncheons that people would teach. I don't know. We'll find out. If that's not true, I apologize, and I'll publish a club correction. So that's happening. God, I wasn't ready for this video. Extra stuff for Coming Home, which I guess is Coming Home Part 5, or Coming Home Deleted Scenes, or Coming Home Redux, or Coming Home where there's a bunch of just CGI characters that I've inserted in later, and it's not as good anymore. End of month update. The holidays, hopefully I'll just lay in bed and like drool a little bit. Have you ever done that when you've slept? I used to think that that was a thing that people didn't do and it was a joke from bad anime, but it's true. A lot of people do it. Quite a lot. It really happens. And I guess doing a whole bunch of research. This video is a failure. This didn't go at all the way that I thought it would, but I didn't have to type any of it out, so that feels great. I'm gonna go and edit this, I guess, and if I feel brave enough, I'll put it on the internet, and then you can look at me being emotional. If you're someone who supported my Patreon at any point ever, thank you, because you've helped me make, you've helped me make, and I've done a whole bunch of different writing that probably would never have happened before. But also you've helped sort of uplift me and keep me going through some sometimes really difficult and awkward and very periods of a lot of not knowing. And that's been really great. And I know that the web isn't really somewhere that is the best place for a lot of written material and long form stuff. I know we like podcasts, and I know we like videos, and I know we like art, and all of that stuff is fantastic and I love it too, but it's not what I am. I'm a person who fundamentally wants to write, and I still think there's a niche to be carved out there where you can write things, and if they're good, people will log on to a website and read them. So thanks if you supported with any of that along the way in any capacity. It means a lot, and I wouldn't be doing what I'd be doing without you. I just scratch myself on camera. I have to get my laundry out of the machine. Bye.